Are the Spurs the best team in Texas?
I mean, they're better than the Mavs.
They are better than the Mavs.
They're better than the Mavs. This
To be
is
determined.
to be
To be
determined.
determined. To be determined. I'm not gonna troll Rockets fans like that because I really like the Rockets, and I'm sure you do. You do too, Kwab.
You know I
But
do. I know you do too. So chill out.
however, let's get to the box score. The Spurs beat the Rockets 121-110. Wembanyama again, 22, 8 and 4. Julian Champagnie, 22 points on 6 of 13 3-point shooting. Harrison Barnes, 6 of 9 from 3 as well. He had 27 points for the Rockets. Kevin Durant, 24 points with 8 turnovers. Sengun, 25, 9 and 8. And Reed Shepherd, I thought had a fantastic game. 16 points, 6 assists, 4 of 7 for 3. But Ime Udoka did not come out of the zone. I don't know why. We can speculate on that now. But because of that, I think the Spurs were able to pick apart the Houston Rockets in the half court, all second half, all fourth quarter, basically, and they come away with the victory. A very interesting game because I think it was sloppy on both ends at different times.
Yep.
The Rockets seemed to dominate most of the first half outside of 2 stretches in which the Spurs got hot from 3 in the first quarter with Barnes, and then towards the end when Vassell and Castle kind of took over the end on that 12-0 run, sending the Spurs into the locker rooms with a 1-point lead. But the second half, Sengun gets into foul trouble, and the Spurs pretty much dominate all of it. They continue to hit the 3-point shot. Ime goes zone, in which if the Rockets were playing good defense, they weren't able to secure rebounds. And if they weren't playing good defense, the Spurs were just hitting threes. I thought they kept Wemby relatively in check. I thought they did a great job, especially in the first half. They turned him over twice and got wide open layups, pressuring him anytime he put the ball on the ground, just basically trying to steal it. Like, that's what seems like the new formula is. Once Wemby tries to put the ball on the ground, if you have someone smaller than him who's a guard and quicker, just try to take it from him. They ran the zone, hoping to keep him away from the rim, and he settled for some mid-range jumpers. Wemby settled for some three-pointers today, too. I thought he could have been more aggressive. I thought it was an okay Wemby game. But overall, the Houston Rockets not able to contain the San Antonio Spurs from 3. And then on the other end, just a lot of turnovers from KD. I don't think he was sharp today. They didn't get out and run as much. They shot the 3 ball okay, but again, they don't take many threes. For as much as, the Rockets are shooting well from the 3-point range, they're not taking a lot of threes. They were 13 of 27 today, which is 48%. But the Spurs took 46 threes today, man. And only hit 5 more. So to the Rockets' credit, the percentage is still there. They're still hitting the threes, but at times their half-court offense, man, just looked like very stagnant. There was in the second half, the Spurs started doubling KD before he even got cross midcourt, and they just were not able to figure out any type of flow whatsoever, except, in my opinion, for when Reed Shepherd was in the game. Shout out to Reed Shepherd. To me, this is the best game I've seen him play. Obviously, Rockets fans, you might think of other games because you watch every game. I do not. This is the best Reed Shepherd game that I've seen since he's been a pro. Somebody to handle the offense, run the offense. They were able to run high pick and rolls and different types of actions to get Sengun in the short roll in situations or have him shoot a 3. To me, the offense just looks so much smoother with Reed out there. And I'm wondering, Kwab, maybe you can speculate on this as you're looking around for something.
Something I can't find. But
this whole time, you're just like,
I'm like,
I don't know what you're looking at.
I'm looking for the Rockets point guard play.
Okay.
Because that's what you're missing, and to your point, like Reed Shepherd had a great game. Like that's probably the best Reed Shepherd game I've seen, also. But watching that game, it was sloppy on both ends, and I think the main factor being you see them how much they miss Fred, like in a game like this.
Yes,
to me.
I agree, man. This is what I've been saying to Rockets fans all year. And I know there's some new Rockets fans who are coming on here accusing me of not liking the Rockets. Go back to our videos last year and then tell me I don't like the Rockets. I really like this team. I do, and I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, really like the Rockets, and I don't like. It was actually, I'll say this, like you said, it was a sloppy game on both ends.
Yeah.
But it felt like the Spurs played a better Rockets game than the Rockets.
Okay.
In terms of turning them over, getting second chance points on offensive rebounds. This is more something you see Rockets players in the team do more than the Spurs do. I saw a lot of fans from both sides on the timeline complaining about their team weren't getting the right calls, and it was happening throughout the course of the game. But it feels like the physical play affected the Rockets more than it affected the Spurs. Wemby was turning the ball over, like also when he was getting crowded, and like you said, that seems to be what teams are gonna do with Wemby now. Like, is in terms of like maybe having a smaller defender on him or another defender and just quickly throwing a double at him. And the process of the offense with the Spurs and the Rockets were similar in terms of accepting a double team, swinging the ball out, swing, and finding an open shot.
Yeah.
The Spurs were knocking down shots throughout the course of the game. Like you said, the stretch with Harrison Barnes hitting a bunch of threes. Uh,
Julian.
Julian has been fantastic all year, and he was hitting a bunch of threes for them. So that always makes a difference. And then with the Rockets, to start the game, like Josh Okogie was I don't know if he hit more than one, but I saw him hit a couple of threes.
No, he had a couple, yeah.
He had a couple, right? Amen hit a couple of threes.
They shot well. To the Rockets' credit, they shot well from three. They just don't shoot a lot of them.
Yeah, they don't. And I think we were talking about this in a previous recap when we were talking about the Rockets, about like we like their process and they got to figure out with the shooting. Amen being a confident shooter is important because it shows that he's confident in the work he's put in throughout the offseason. Like you can work on your game as much as you want in the offseason, but
Yeah.
if you're not confident in your work, you're gonna stop shooting at some point. And I'm happy that he hasn't stopped shooting throughout the course of the season. Yeah, basically what encapsulates this game is that crazy ass sequence that happened at the end of the game when the Rockets were trying to get the ball out and it just kept slipping and it was like a turnover, and the Spurs. And that was, to me, that was what the game. It was like a sloppy game played out, but the Spurs got the advantage
Right.
throughout, and that
Right.
to me like summarized the game to me. Spurs being able to play this well without like a lead guard is very important to me. I'm excited to see how you're gonna look when Fox comes back tomorrow. Because I think they say he's gonna play tomorrow. When Fox comes back, and then when they get Dylan Harper back, because they were also sloppy. Like Castle turned over the ball.
Yeah, he's. I love Castle, but he's not a point guard to me, or he's not
Yeah.
someone who you want leading. The charge on the offensive end. His strengths is catching on the wing, attacking, and just being a scorer. He can do other things. Don't be wrong, but his strength is basically not what De'Aaron Fox does.
Yeah,
Not what
and
Dylan
like
does.
being a defensive menace, like he got a
Yeah.
bunch of second chance points too,
Yeah.
and those were important. But like they to me like I want to see what they look like with Fox. I don't know what, and then on the other side, I don't know what the Rockets should do in terms of trying to find like a lead playmaker, because we saw in this game like Reed played fantastic, right? But then they try to have like Tari handling the ball in certain sequences, and he
Yeah.
turned the ball over.
KD too. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Like it is that to me. Looking at the squad right now, I'm like this could work throughout the course of the season. Like, you can beat the teams you're supposed to beat, which is not a knock because
Right.
they are an elite team. Like, I expect them to beat any lower team, but some of these games that they've been in dogfights when they face like defensive pressure from other teams, right? They gotta be able to figure that out. So that comes with finding if they can find a lead playmaker, like or somebody that can just take the pressure off, like the forwards and the centers having to bring up the ball and
Yeah.
set up the offense. That would make a world of a difference. But if you ask me, when I was like looking around, I'm like, I need to find a point guard, my boy. Like
Yeah.
they need a guard, man.
Also, man, I'm shocked that Ime stood with the zone as long as he did. It makes me wonder if they did that because of Reed Shepherd. Now, I don't know. I know Ime likes running the zone. This is not something that he just goes to because there's a weak defender out there.
Yeah.
It's something that he likes to do whether or not Reed is out there or not. Let's just make that very clear. However, I don't think there was a coincidence with Reed being out there and Ime running the zone for as long as he did, because you run a zone to switch things up, maybe get them a little bit off, but if you keep getting killed, whether or not it's open threes or offensive rebounds turning into open threes, whatever it is, you kind of have to switch it up. And it's not like the Rockets can't play man-to-man defense. This is a very physical team. I know maybe going to man-to-man, you're probably going to expose Reed a little bit. Maybe you don't trust him on the ball, something like that, and you want to Reed on there offensively, but you got to make a choice. If you're getting killed on one end of the basketball, you have to make a coaching decision and maybe go offense, defense, or maybe put somebody else in who you trust more on the defensive end. Reed was having a really good offensive game.
Yep.
But they were just getting killed, man. They were
Killed.
getting killed on that end. Really shocked that Ime decided to stay in that zone and maybe not switch it up a little bit, or maybe just do something else. Go ahead.
We both follow and Will Biased Houston,
That's our
who's
homie.
been
Shout out Will.
that's the homie. Shout out Will. He's been a guest on the show anytime we talk Rockets and preview the
Yeah.
Rockets. There's 2 tweets he had that I want to bring up because that support what you said.
Okay.
He said zone hasn't worked all season, so naturally we keep running it.
Okay.
And he said, Ime Udoka lost this game. Absolutely ridiculous. We're a professional basketball team running a high school 2-3 zone.
Yeah.
That's what.
But it's going to switch it up. I'm not saying don't switch it up.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Ime, it kind of limited Wemby in the half court. Wemby didn't kill you in the half court. It was the others who killed you in the half court. So if the plan was like, okay, we're going to do this to kind of make Wemby settle for jumpers in the mid range or take threes, then we'll go for it. The problem was like Barnes was hot, Julian was hot. Like you had other Spurs knocking shots down.
I was like, but to that point though, to that point though, we can switch to the Spurs now. To that point, the patience that Wemby showed throughout that zone, I think actually it helped him because he was comfortable catching it and making the right plays in terms of kicking the ball out, and they're comfortable with your shooters hitting shots or people cutting. There was a sequence where it was I think it was in the fourth. Wemby caught it at the high post, saw 2, kicked it out. It was a swing 3-pointer.
Yeah.
And then the very next play, he caught it, and Castle dove to the basket while the shooter popped out, and Castle got a dunk off the pass from Wemby. At that point, I was like, oh, they're gonna come out the zone. They didn't.
Yeah.
So I was like, to me, like running zone, especially against if a player like Wemby, when he's playing poised and just not rushing it, like you're gonna get this type of effect. To me, the previous game that we covered with the Spurs, Wemby looked rushed, like he was just playing too fast.
I still think he settled today, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but it ended up in better results though. I mean, in terms of
I think the role players played better, but I think Houston played good defense today through certain sections.
Okay.
I think they played, until they went to the zone for the whole fourth quarter. I mean, the way they were pressuring the Spurs in the first half, I mean, to me, Houston looked like the better team in the first half. Even though the Spurs took a lead in the locker room, it had to do with a 12-0 run to end the half. But to me, if you were to ask me who's the better team today or right now, I would have said the Rockets. I would have said the Rockets. And I still think the Rockets have a higher ceiling than the Spurs. I do. Yeah. I don't think the Spurs are going to make the Western Conference Finals. I think this Houston team has a chance to make the Western Conference Finals if they figure out this point guard situation. Who knows? Maybe they can win the West. But to me today, I think you saw the glaring weaknesses with Houston, and that's pretty much their half court offense. It does work against teams like we mentioned last week who they beat, and it wasn't an insult to them saying you're beating who you're supposed to beat, but when you go up a level, you play like San Antonio who has a better defense. It's harder for KD to kick out of a double team or, start an offense from beyond half court when they're doubling you and swinging the ball around and doing that consistently. Houston gets a lot of their offense cutting into the lanes off of these doubles, and it's been working, especially from the baseline, from the short pole, or from the top of the key, and it's been great. And I don't even think they played all that bad today, but I do think you saw a huge difference when Reed Shepherd was in the game and you were able to give the ball to a point guard. It opened up a whole nother option. Now you can do a high pick and roll without being doubled. You can have that pocket pass to Sengun, a short roll where you can get the cutter going. Maybe you don't have to get KD double. You can drive and kick to KD. But every time they got KD in the half court or Sengun in the half court, it was just an automatic double. Yep. This is the second straight game with Houston that we've watched where they're just doing automatic doubling. Where it's like Sengun, KD gets it, we're doubling. And you're going to get good defensive teams who are going to take advantage of that. So, it's very interesting. I think these two teams are in different spots right now. Like I said, I do think the Rockets have a higher ceiling than the Spurs. Yeah. I just think they have a little more to figure out right now. I think the Spurs know who they are more than the Rockets know who they are right now. Or at least they have less holes in the sense of like, we don't need a point guard. We don't need, whereas the Rockets still, there's some kind of roster construction there. But overall, these are two really good teams. We saw a really good game.
What do you think the Spurs ceiling is?
Semis.
Ceiling, okay.
Semis. Yeah.
Ceiling, okay.
It's hard for me to put the Spurs in the contender category because it's so new.
Yeah.
Like, this is a team that wasn't even in the playoffs last year. So even though they got off to a really good start, this Rockets team was probably the first like real like I won't say impressive victory, but like noteworthy victory of the season for them.
And you
Ah,
know
the
what?
Heat. They beat the Heat. They beat the
Yeah,
Heat.
and you know what
We don't
too?
like.
To
Yeah.
add to that too, like the Spurs, like we kind of we haven't seen them fully the full team yet. We
Yeah,
haven't.
I mean, Fox hasn't. Yeah, exact. Fox and
Yeah,
Harper when they come back, we'll see.
we'll see. And like anytime we watch them, there's parts of the team that's been impressive. I think having quote unquote like role players this game that were able to step up and knock down shots because you need that when you have a big that's gonna see doubles, that's gonna
Yes.
see the type of like crazy coverages that
Yes.
that throughout the course of a game. Like a lot of teams are gonna throw zone. I feel like we'll throw zone at the Spurs too. We'll throw doubles at Wemby,
Yes.
and you're gonna need Harrison Barnes to hit shots.
Champagne to hit shot. Yeah.
To hit shots. You're gonna
Yeah.
need all that, right? You're gonna need
Vassell also, he played well in the first half. Like,
yeah,
we're forgetting him. Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna need all that. So that's important. And I know there are Spurs fans who believe like this team might be like one of them.
I think we're a year early. We're
You,
a year early.
I look. I'm a hold back because I just want to see what they look like when they have the full squad.
Yeah.
Because I feel like since the Dylan Harper injury, the team looks different than what we've seen, and we're not
They're not
seeing.
playing as fast.
Yeah, and
But
I'm
even
not saying like
Harper never really started, but even starting the games, they're not playing faster.
yeah, even starting the games, they're gonna play fast. But
Yeah.
I just felt like anytime they went to the bench, it just felt like he gave them a jolt. Like, and
Yeah.
that's been missing. So
Yeah.
I want to see what this team looks like when they're healthy. But this is a good win. This is a good win by
Oh,
a
it's a
young
great win.
team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and like I said, it looked like they played the physical brand of basketball that the Rockets want to play. They played a version way better than the Rockets, who we usually expect that from.
Yeah. I mean, for the Rockets, to me, I really do believe this. If they just figure out that one thing with the point guard and how to
That
run that,
one. Okay.
I think it'll take him from here to here. To me, I don't think it's like I don't think the Rockets have to fix much. If I'm being honest, like it's like a tweak, like
just a little, right there. Yeah.
I told you before. You can go back to the video when Kevin Durant was traded. My take was they are contenders. I don't give a damn what you say. This team is contenders.
Yeah. We've said we were both like,
Yeah.
this is
So now
this is
Fred
a
gets
top
hurt.
Western team. Yeah.
Again, for context, you're talking to someone who played point guard and values the point guard position. So you lose your point guard. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, that's bad news. And I do think it's going to be bad news for the Rockets in the long run if they don't get somebody else to replace him. I don't think you can run a healthy dose of Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, reach up. Like, you need someone to like, I got this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. But the Rockets lose to the Spurs. Spurs win 121-110 in the Battle of Texas. I think these are two teams we're going to be reviewing for the rest of the season. I think they're two really good basketball teams, and I'm excited to see how they come along and what happens from here. If you want to follow Dime, you can follow us everywhere at the Dime NBA. Join us for Dime After Dark Tuesday nights after late games.
Yes, sir.
It was fun last week. Go
time.
check it out if you missed it. Kwab and I are buying robes. I'm not kidding. Be a good time. I'm Josh. He's Kwab. Oh, and check out our power rankings. Go tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah, go tell us how we're wrong. We dropped the power rankings earlier today. So yeah, let us know how wrong we are because we love that. We really do enjoy. We really enjoy the comments and also drop some questions for the dime bag that we have coming up. So do that too.
All right, everybody. See you next time on the Dime. Peace.